All right, guys. So our penultimate topic here is going to be about the Snyder Cut, because we would be remiss if we didn't mention the Snyder Cut at least once in every episode of every week. We got to talk about the Snyder Cut at least once until it comes out. It's going to be kind of sad once the Snyder Cut actually comes out in some ways, because we're not going to be able to talk about it anymore. It's been just something that like everybody in fandom has been able to talk about for like a couple years at this point. Pretty much ever since Justice League, people have been clamoring for the Snyder Cut. And we've gotten a lot of content out of Snyder Cut news too, so it's going to be kind of upsetting on that level once it's gone too. But anyways, with this, we got confirmation from Harry Lennix himself that his character, what's his name in here? General Calvin Swanwick, is going to be, he shot stuff as Martian Manhunter. It's going to be confirmed in the Snyder Cut. That is his character is going to be Martian Manhunter, which I've said since day one.
You've always said that.
I've said it literally since Man of Steel came out. I was like, bet that dude's Martian Manhunter. I've said it. I said they should do it if they weren't going to do it, because it makes too much sense. The dude was always cool with Superman. Like, it just made perfect sense for him to have been Martian Manhunter. So I'm just kind of glad that this is actually like for sure a thing, and I wasn't like crazy in thinking it, because Zach obviously had the same mindset that I did, that like this character would be perfect to be Martian Manhunter. So here it is. So I'm excited to see. How much do you think we're actually going to see? Because he goes on to say that, he says it's going to be great to be up there with Batman and Superman and my pals. So how much do you think like an actual Martian Manhunter himself is going to be in it? Like in like alien form, or just his character in general?
Because I don't think it's going to be much.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the alien form. I mean, that's a lot of new stuff to add, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Well, and plus, haven't they? They've already talked about how they've only added. He only shot 5 minutes of new footage.
5 minutes, yeah.
So I mean, I think the most that we could hope for would be 5 minutes, unless there's pre-existing footage.
Well, yeah, and you got to think of too with the 5 minutes thing, because we talked about it before. Some of that has to include the Joker stuff and Deathstroke stuff. So it's like once you start including some of these things, like, you're running out of time.
5 minutes is not very much time at all.
I mean, 5 minutes on camera in a scene, it is longer than you would think, but when you're talking like Joker, Deathstroke, Martian Manhunter, are they including CGI shots, like full CGI shots?
Because they didn't shoot that technically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like maybe there's some leeway with that if he wasn't really including that. Maybe he was saying, I've shot 5 minutes physically with a camera, but Martian Manhunter could be just digitally added. So like maybe he could be there in the final fight. I don't know. They could always say like he's like super duper old too, and they throw him into the flashback fight if they really wanted to, but who knows what they're gonna do with it. I'm just excited that like I was on the same wavelength with Zack Snyder about this, and that he's in it.
So. You really have like always said that. Like, what if he's Martian Manhunter?
Yeah, dude. Like always.
I'm starting to wonder if we're really going to get that March date. If we're really going to get, and here's the reason I see that is because we have yet to get like a new trailer for it. I know they released a pseudo trailer, but it was a lot of footage that had been in Zack's first trailer for it. You're talking about, I mean, we've already talked about how there's over like almost 2.5 hours of additional footage that's going to be in this movie that wasn't in the Justice League cut of it.
That's crazy.
So when you're talking about that much footage, that's plenty of footage to cut a new trailer from. And we're only 6 weeks out from March. Even if it's the end of March, we're 8 weeks out from that, and they haven't put out a trailer to start. So I'm starting to wonder if that March date isn't somewhat, maybe is going to be moved, or wasn't a little bit too hopeful.
You know what I could say, like what I'm kind of thinking with this is too, though, at least as far as like having like a new trailer with like new footage and stuff in it, I could totally see them not wanting to spend a lot more money on marketing stuff for it, because they've had to spend so much money on making it. Like,
yeah,
maybe.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they need to, because they want to use this for HBO Max more than anything.
Yeah,
that's the only reason it exists to begin with. Like,
yeah, this is to get people to sign up and use the service. And the other thing is too, like if it is March, why wouldn't you be attaching a new trailer for it to either the before Wonder Woman part of HBO? Like anytime anybody fires up Wonder Woman 84 on HBO Max, wouldn't you expect there to be a trailer for Justice League's, or not Justice League, for Snyder Cut, so that people don't cancel their subscription once Wonder Woman's gone, or cancel their subscription after they watch it? I
Right.
would think that you would throw a trailer on there to entice people and say, hey, look, coming in just 6 short weeks, we've got Zack Snyder's Justice League, and so I'm just when we start talking Snyder Cut, that starts making I'm eager to see how Martian Manhunter gets into the mix and all that, and then I start thinking, okay, well, how long do I have to wait to get to this point? And I'm starting to think that it may not be as soon as I kind of hoped it was.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I think though, if I had to guess, I bet we're gonna have a trailer, like a full, like, new footage kind of trailer by the end of the month.
Yeah.
Probably February. I'd say
I mean,
mid-February.
They're going to have to release something.
I mean, it doesn't cost much to cut a trailer, and I haven't seen. I understand, like, you're not going to be running, you're not going to run an ad during the Super Bowl for.
Oh no, they are 100%.
Oh, you think so?
100%.
I
You
would
think
think
there'll be a
so.
Super Bowl ad?
Dude, I guarantee it. I
Okay,
guarantee.
well,
There's
maybe they'll
no
do
way.
that.
That's the most
But it doesn't
huge
cost
thing for sure.
It doesn't cost them a dime to put up a trailer on their social media sites,
But it
and they have
also
just
isn't
there's
gonna.
nothing.
It's not gonna do anything for them right now, though. You know what I mean? Because if you put it out too early, like for a normal release movie, 3 months before it comes out in theaters is around when like they do start their marketing for it, like their bigger heavy push for it, which is where we're at now for it. But this being like an HBO Max thing, and you throw on the fact that they've spent, let's say, $100 million trying to get this thing out to begin with, and HBO Max hasn't been pumping the numbers that they'd be wishing they would, are right now. I think they're just waiting to do it so that they can just flood the market, essentially. Just like Snyder Cut, and like people not have to wait too long, because they don't want, if they do it now, it'd be like, my favorite example is Godzilla King of the Monsters. They released their first trailer at San Diego Comic-Con, but it was like a year and some odd time away from the release date. Everyone was super hype after watching that trailer, because it's a great trailer. Like, it's an amazing trailer. Nobody cared a month later.
Yeah.
Nobody, like, and then you still had to wait
Well,
a year for the movie anyway.
but speaking of that too, we just found out this week that Godzilla Godzilla versus King Kong is moving their release
It's
date
March, right?
up to March.
Yeah.
So are they going to drop both those during the month of March, or do you think maybe they push Snyder Cut back to April and then have that kind of
Dude, I would bet that Snyder Cut would get moved up before it gets moved back.
Yeah.
Really?
People are anticipating that way too much to move back.
Yeah, there's too, like, people want
the backlash would be insane.
Well, I don't know if there would be too much backlash for it. I just think it would be better for them, because there's so many people waiting for it. I was just like, what do you think is going to get them more subscribers? Godzilla, a franchise that hasn't really been performing all that well, or Snyder Cut, which literally got willed into existence by millions of fans or whatever.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
I mean?
I'm just trying to figure out, like, why we're not hearing more. Like, I would, if that's all true, and they would move it. I mean, if you'd move it up from March, then I mean, God, you're talking about early March and late February.
Well,
at that
it
point.
looks like they moved Godzilla to March 26. Okay, when does Snyder Cut? When do they have that set to release?
I don't know. The only date I think was just March, because I think Zach said something in a one of his, was it Vimeo talks that he does. I think
according to 12 days ago, potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. See, I think I took that. I think a lot of people took that as kind of confirmation that it was March. But the more I think about it, I think it's, I don't know. I think it's being pushed back. Plus, all their focus right now seems to be on the fact that they're releasing all their big budget movies alongside theaters and HBO Max. So at some point, I figure they're going to start attaching
Well,
Snyder Cut promotions to those movies
well, and that's
or
the
to that
thing. They want the
marketing.
subs, right? So like it would make
Yeah.
sense for them to okay, so maybe they're not as stupid as what people are thinking because if they pump Snyder Cut, which is 4 episodes, right? It's a 4-part miniseries. That much has been confirmed. If they pump this out on, let's say, the first week of March, then it'll be done in time for Godzilla to come out, so people would keep the sub to watch. It's because it's the
Watch
same.
Godzilla.
It's the same audience. Most of the same people who would watch Godzilla would also watch Justice League.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you know, I mean, it's the same target audience, so it would make sense for them to actually use both of these franchises to boost both of them because neither of them have performed as well as either of them should have, or and they wanted them to. Like, you know what I mean? Like Justice League
Yeah.
it was I think the least grossing DC movie. A movie with the Justice League in it should not be your lowest grossing movie. Like, you know
Sure.
what I mean? And then same with Godzilla King of the Monsters. It really didn't do all that well either, and it wasn't really well received, and like neither was Justice League. So I could totally see them, like, maybe they're being a little bit smarter about it, and they're gonna push this out to where they can bolster those subs because that was their biggest kind of, like, I don't know, I could see why they wanted to do all their movies on HBO Max next year, or I guess this year now, because if you have enough of them that are, like, similar in target audience, you could just have people, like, pretty much force them into keeping their monthly sub. Because it's like they watch it, they have it for a month, and then they see that, well, shit, yeah, next month this is coming out, and then
Yeah.
next month this is coming out.
It makes you want to stick around.
Yeah, it's like, so I might
Yeah.
as well just keep it because by golly, Matrix 4 is coming out after that. So it's like if they actually are using Godzilla and Kong and Justice League to do that, then that would kind of make sense. But I totally, there hasn't been 100% confirmation that it's actually happening in March. I mean, this article is from 12 days ago, and it's potentially even then. And then Zach, I think they had Zach's quote saying that it should be in March or something. So I don't know. And even 12 days ago, they even say a trailer is imminent, and it's been 12 days since this article was written. So I would definitely say a trailer's got to be coming, but I wouldn't be. Now that we've been talking about it, I wouldn't be completely shocked if it did get pushed back, or if it's going to
Mhm.
come out earlier. One of the two. Because like that's the other thing with them moving Godzilla up, even though that movie's been done for like a year. So I mean, they haven't. That was going to be out already, I think, because I think that just got pushed because of COVID. So they haven't been working on it. They could just put that out whenever they want. But yeah, they could move this up and just still kind of like use them unilaterally to promote each other.
I
Makes
just think if the potential was there for it to hit a March date or even a sooner date, if that was even a possibility, that they would have had some sort of marketing attached to the Wonder Woman 84 release, and there was
Yeah.
nothing. So I can't envision them because I mean you got Gal Gadot. I mean you're bringing Gal Gadot back, new footage of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Justice League. Like why would you not tell people, hey, look, you can get more of her in just 6 weeks if you keep your subscription, and here comes Snyder's cut. You know, that makes me. I'd almost be willing to put money. I'd put money on the fact it's not hitting a March date because you just don't miss that kind of marketing opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see it. You've definitely convinced me that it's possible. I didn't think
Yeah.
it was a possibility before, but I really just wasn't really thinking about it before. But you know, hearing your arguments and then seeing like even this article from 12 days ago when like it's all kind of up in the air and still don't have any 100% confirmation yet. Typical theatrical release, like I said, would start doing their marketing push like 3 months beforehand. So I don't know. It's a little different because this is his own thing, right? Like the Snyder Cut. It's the first of its kind, which I mean, so it's got that going for it. But at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time, it puts a lot more question marks on it. So like, who knows? I hope it comes out in March though, if not sooner. So I'm ready to see it.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm ready to see it, especially now that we got Martian Manhunter in it. Like, And I'm also again curious of what Joker and Deathstroke's going to be doing in here.
And to be fair, we're gonna have a lot of content because we can talk about the episodes. You
Yep.
know,
That's a good point.
so it's
Well,
not like
but
it
when
just
it comes
drops
out
off.
though, it's finite. You know, it's like we only have these next 4 weeks to talk about. Like,
more time than that.
I'm sure, depending on how good it is and stuff, maybe it's something we'll be talking about forever. Like
It's
maybe.
a pretty bold statement.
Exactly. Who knows, though? I mean, we all still talk. I mean, hell, I just watched Captain America: Winter Soldier again today. Like maybe
Good.
it'll be good enough to where I want to keep revisiting it. Like who knows? Like Man of Steel. Like that's a high bar though, but we'll see. Like we'll see. But anyways, guys, let us know what you think about this down in the comment section below. Are you excited that Martian Manhunter is coming back? Do you think that Snyder Cut is going to hit this March release date, or do you think kind of like John that it's kind of questionable at this point, especially given the fact that there hasn't really been any real confirmation of it as of that article from 12 days ago? They're not even able to confirm that it's going to come out in March. And then with them moving Godzilla to March, that kind of makes it even more suspicious. Like, is it a good place so they can use each film to market each property, or is it being delayed or moved forward? Whatever it is, let us know down in the comment section below.